think about it. This was the early morning hours of November 13th. King Road is not a road that gets a lot of vehicular traffic. There's a lot of foot traffic from what the neighbors have been telling me. So, Jennifer, I'm thinking this would probably stand out if either someone saw this vehicle or it was captured on some type of security footage.
Absolutely. It seems from the information we know that there was actual information from an interview about this vehicle. And that makes it very interesting because whenever you get information from people and what they see, to have it be this focused as being Hyundai Elantra makes me think they perhaps corroborated the fact that what this individual saw actually came up on a camera view as well.
Interesting. And I think if there was some camera footage or video footage of this, we would all love to see it. Imran, this question comes to you from Eli Zaveda on YouTube. And he asks, the killer could have easily left Idaho. Shouldn't there be a nationwide alert to be on the lookout? So what are your thoughts on that as a former prosecutor?
Yeah, Angenette, I think that we don't have enough information for any particular individual to be on the lookout for. I think we're really in an early stage of this investigation, even though weeks have passed now. And in many ways, just although it's not an official bulletin, you have so many eyes on what is going on in Moscow, Idaho, in terms of the investigation, that the nation is on alert. But what are you on the alert for? I don't think we have enough information of who or what to look out for. Now we have the description of this vehicle. You want to be careful before you issue a bulletin where the information is still vague and not specific, because you don't want people being vigilantes out there and suspecting someone when you don't have specific information. I think that law enforcement that are trying to narrow down their evidence, they're trying to get those leads. You have that with this vehicle and now the information about this vehicle as they search for it. But I think when they do have more specifics, you will see more of a concerted effort of law enforcement to get more eyes out there with perhaps a nationwide official bulletin. Could this individual have been left Idaho? Perhaps yes. Could this individual has left the country? Perhaps yes, because we don't have enough information on who may have done that and committed these heinous crimes at this time.
Yeah, and with it be on the lookout, usually it's pretty specific information about someone they are looking for. And then you get into a situation, if that person doesn't turn themselves in, where you have a manhunt on your hands. So we aren't at that point yet. This next question, I'm going to give this one to you, Jennifer, comes from Debbie McLean. She posted this on YouTube, and she asks, did the coroner know the time of death to be accurate? So we've heard a range here. They believe that these homicides occurred, it sounds like, sometime after 3 a.m., but there can be a range of time. So do we know the time of death to be accurate?
I think the time of death has been determined accurate within particular parameters. And again, that would have been determined by the ME and be part of the autopsy. And I believe those autopsies have been concluded. Possibly toxicology results are still out, but I believe they have even started to come in at this point. So yes, I think that the specific time frame they have has been narrowed down based on lividity, based on what was in the stomach and how far it had been digested, and that the ME made an approximation, and that's why they have this time frame.
And I think that we also know the time frame to a degree, just because we know that those kids arrived home around 1:45. Kaylee and Maddie got home around 1:56. Ethan and Xana, we were told, 1:45. So it had to be sometime after 2 a.m. And then Kaylee's sister, of course, said that the last call from Kaylee's phone happened at 2:52. So it had to be sometime after that, as far as we know. Imran, this question I think is interesting for you. It's been since November 23rd that the police have provided an actual press conference with any type of updated information. Why do you think it's been such a long period of time, and now they're just doing kind of on-camera interviews when requested, not revealing a lot of information, and also posting updates on Facebook? Do you have any feeling as to why they haven't come out and done a formal press conference since November 23rd?
Well, Angenette, I think that is because it's still a very dynamic investigation. And if there is a piece of information or evidence or that they feel need or warrant a formal press conference, I think we're going to be seeing that, because there's a lot of people out in the public who want to know what happened in that Idaho town to these individuals. But for now, I think that it's a piecemeal sort of drip of information. And you know better than I do, because you are the boots on the ground there for Law and Crime. But as that information is dripped out, I think it's indicative of the way the investigation is going here. They're getting leads and small bits of information at a time. But once there is a big movement, if you will, in terms of what they have, I think we'll see a more formal press conference for the public, because everyone wants to know.
Yeah, no doubt. And all eyes really are on Idaho. People are watching this from across the country and around the world. I actually met someone who ran into a reporter from London yesterday. So this is getting a lot of attention, international attention. This next question is for you, Jennifer, and it comes from LJ Sings on YouTube. And LJ asks, is it possible that authorities do have a suspect or suspects, but are keeping that information close to the vest as they continue to look at lab results? I was told yesterday they don't have a suspect or suspects, but is it possible they really do and they just aren't revealing that?
Unfortunately, I don't think they do. And that is the frustrating part. They're trying to narrow down. This is one of these cases that there's too much information. Sometimes it's difficult to solve a case because you just don't have enough clues. In this case, there is so much information to go through. The web of individuals connected to the victims, the DNA evidence, and that crime scene, which would be so difficult. It took them such a long time to even finish compiling and extracting all that information, all of the canvassing that had to be done, the video, the digital information. It is so much information, it's drawing out the amount of time. So the answer is no, I don't believe they have their suspect yet.
Interesting. And you mentioned the digital evidence, Jennifer. I know that can actually take some time to compile if you approach Facebook or one of these social media companies, and those records can be voluminous. I just covered a trial where they said they received 30,000 pages of records from Facebook. I mean, just going through that amount of information. Imran, what does it take to go through maybe 30,000 pages of information related to maybe these direct messages from a social media platform? I mean, that could take so much time when you have analysts combing through that.
No, absolutely. And, when you have that volume of information, you need to look at it. You don't want to miss any clues that may be in a Facebook post or some sort of computer forensic information that may be gleaned in social media. And it has to be looked at, especially when you're investigating the deaths of 4 individuals in a university community where people that age are posting things online. There's also security camera footage that has to be looked through. But it takes manpower to do so. And you're going to have everyone who is involved there, the FBI, the local law enforcement, and those helping out, really putting in the effort and time and effort to look through this. And you're going to have forensic analysis and technicians who are skilled at looking at computer analysis and video footage in order to really narrow things down here. And it's going to take time, effort, and, as Jennifer was talking about the volume of evidence, that is going to cause some delay because you have to look through it and you have to be careful when you're doing so. So I think that it's going to be a real taxing effort here on law enforcement in that area as they look at the electronic evidence or data that they're receiving, and also interviewing people and talking to people and doing that sort of old school sleuthing as they follow leads to try to solve this crime.
And it definitely will take some time. I mean, the FBI is here on the ground in Idaho, as is the Idaho State Police, of course, and the Moscow Police Department. They're a small department here. That's why they have them assisting. So it could really take some time. Next question for you, Jennifer, and this comes from A. Edmo from YouTube. A. Edmo asks, is there more information on the group of drunk students in the field in between the house and the frat house. This was some body camera footage that came to light that showed some young people. I won't say they're teenagers, but I believe they were underage and they were drunk and they were cited. Is there any more information on them and involvement with them? Do we know any more about this? And as far as I know, these were just some drunk kids out and about and they were cited. That's all I know about it. How about you, Jennifer?
That's all that's come out, but make no mistake, those younger individuals were interviewed. They're leaving no stone unturned, and they are interviewing anyone and everyone that could have possibly seen anything. And I think that's the frustrating part, right? This is boots on the ground. This is the type of investigation that you really need qualified and skilled interviewers. And they've been out doing their interviews, yet we don't have a clue as to a subject yet. And that's frustrating, of course, when here we are down the road all these weeks and we still really don't know much.
And we really don't know much. I mean, the investigators say that there's a picture coming together, but they're not really sharing with us what that picture looks like. So we are going to take a quick break. Keep your questions coming. We will get to each and every one of them if we can. Post them on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. I'm Angenette Levy in Moscow, Idaho, and you are watching Law and Crime.